All right. Market opens in about 10 seconds. Ah. The app that I use to stream my monitor crashed right before I was ready to go live, so I had to deal with that last second. That was annoying. Okay. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the sell side down here. A couple things I wanted to go over before the market opened, but I ran out of time because of tech issues. Just gonna measure risk just to get an idea of how volatile the market is. Hmm. So I'm wanting to lean bullish. I had some notes that I was going to read off before market open, but I ran out of time. I'll read them off word for word later, but there's a daily, it's on my other chart, it's not on this chart, but there's a daily inversion for value gap above the market, and the midpoint rests at 29,916 and a half. That's my best case scenario for longs today. The only hiccup in the bias is that there's these equal lows below the market, and so it could want to come down for that instead, or come down for that first and then go higher. But that would be a lot of range for one day, so I'm trying to keep an open mind. If I can get a nice run down to these lows that makes sense, that might be all I do for the day. It just depends. But that's kind of where I'm at. There's high impact news at 2 o'clock. It is FOMC minutes. The minutes aren't that important, but the market will have a reaction to it. And then Trump has a speech at 2:30. So, I don't really know what those things would do to the market. We've taken buy side so far this morning, and that sell side is just sitting below the market, and it looks really clean. I kind of want to shoot for that as my draw. Um, and this is the new day opening gap, these light blue lines, and then the dark blues in the midpoint. I would have preferred trying to get a short up in here, up above these equal highs. That's what I would have preferred. Um, but it never went and tipped those. It's tempting to try to get a short on at this midpoint and shoot for the full gap closure and then the sell side, but it could offer a deeper discount, or not deeper discount, a higher premium. Um, so I want to be patient. There isn't an obvious breaker in here to use. I would say this is a breaker, but we didn't go take this high. Shorts would be a lot more obvious if we would have tipped this little high here. Don't even need to take this one, but if we would have just tipped that high, I think shorts would be a lot more obvious because then this would be a breaker for sure. Um, but I'm feeling pretty good about this liquidity pool here. And then there's also this one. If I go to a higher time frame real quick, see there's equal lows right here. And we just kind of barely went below them. And there's a daily wick here, right here, and that's the midpoint of it. So that's also a possibility that we go dig deeper down into that sell side. This has been pretty low resistance, lower so far this morning, so that's nice. I just didn't have the conviction. Uh, I don't know. I really would have preferred these little highs get tips. It didn't have to do that, of course, obviously, because it's heading lower. But yeah, reached up into the, I think that's last Tuesday's new day opening gap. It's the lower octant. Uh, did that pre-market. But as you can see, there's really clean buy side right here above the market and here. Um, Now we have stacked buy side here. So I want to be leaning for the buy side. But this, I think, needs to get taken care of first. Really clean run down. Getting in short at this midpoint would have been nice. Um, would have been a nice, not too bad of an entry, but obviously getting in up here is much better. We have change of the state delivery right here, and then it went up to yesterday's first presented fair value gap, the midpoint, touched it right there, perfect, and then ran away. I just really wanted to see a high tipped. Of course, I still feel confident in these lows, so a scalp down to here still isn't out of the realm of possibility. Um, this inversion for value gap is interesting. It's anchored to the new day opening gaps midpoint. There's also this little one here as well, but it's not anchored to the new day gap. Well, no, it's anchored to an octant, isn't it? So I'll note that too. Hmm. New 15-minute candle is going to open in 30 seconds. I think aiming for this inversion for an entry is much better than this one, just because it's deeper in premium. There's the midpoint of that New Day gap. It might not offer anything better than that. Right now, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Is it gonna dig a little deeper? Like it could. See how sensitive that is being? That's really interesting. About 950 macro. Might not offer better than that. Might be it. Tell you, if I was in right here, I would be at break even because after these two wicks, I would just want to see continuation. So I don't think it'll offer a better entry. It could, but if I'm just saying, if I was in here and it does offer a better entry, I'd be getting out break even just to protect capital and demand that uh, my entry is profitable. See how quick that just snapped down? See what I'm saying? That's beautiful. That's really nice. So that was the entry. Didn't offer better price than that. That's okay. Uh, when you're this precise with your entries, I mean, look how precise that is. Sometimes when you're looking for that much precision, you won't get filled on the entry, and that's okay because that just means that you're extremely precise. You're an extremely precise trader. Look how, oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I do regret not just getting in at the low or just at the midpoint because that's so precise. Look at that. It's perfect. And then boom, there's the sell side. That was amazing. Amazing. Wow. I'm impressed. That was really nice. I'm really am kind of regretting not just getting in right there. I really am. I was just kind of worried, like scared that it might have a deeper retracement, but that's really nice, isn't it? Beautiful. There's a little bit of minor sell side right there. And then obviously there's these lows here. But this thick line is that main sell side liquidity pool that we just kind of barely tipped below. What a nice run. I almost feel sick Because that's just such a clean, easy, amazing run, and it's a big run too. That's a lot of profit very, very quickly. Um, and I called this fair value gap before it even traded to it. And notice the bodies with this. This is like a supporting fair value gap. This is the one I would be mainly concerned with. And so it reached up for this one, and then all the bodies stayed below this one as well. So that's a highly bearish signature. So I'm a little regretful, but it's okay. I'm up on the week. I don't need to, I don't need to take anything. It's just being right about something and then it working, like being right about something, not capitalizing on it because you have like kind of a bad feeling, or I don't know, maybe not even a bad feeling. Just like I was just worried that maybe it wants to retrace deeper. Um, This isn't quite a breaker. I feel like, again, if this high would have been tipped right here, if that high would have been tipped, this would be a breaker. And then I would feel extremely confident that it should not reach very deeply into this breaker. And it didn't do that, even though technically it's not a breaker. It's very close to being one. Look at that move. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Wow, that's awesome. Um, so, I don't know. That's tough. Just to hurt myself even more, I'm really curious about what kind of profit that's looking like. So risk, I would have wanted to have it up above first presented from yesterday. And then my initial sell side target was here. See how quick I would have gotten that? And then if I wanted to squeeze out 300, there's that. And then those London lows, look at that. $400 profit in just a couple minutes. Those London lows. That is beautiful. With an extremely precise entry right there. That's awesome. That is awesome. Cool. So I called it pretty perfect. The sell side here, and then I said I might want to dig deeper below this. And that's what we've done. So there you go. Now that those objectives have been met, I want to be leaning long because we're a little extended. As ICT would say, we're a little long in the tooth on this move lower here. We're at a discount array on the daily chart. This is a daily bullish inversion for value gap. We're taking sell side liquidity, and we left buy side above the market. So that's what I want to concern myself with right now. I'm going to get rid of these minor pools of liquidity. That's that daily wick, and then I can even, yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we took that sell side very fast, very, very fast. This potential bullish inversion is anchored to the consequence encroachment of the daily fair value gap. I love that move down. I really wish I would have participated. Definitely could have. Yeah, so right now we're trading at a discount on the daily chart in a discount array, and we're at the consequence encroachment, and we've taken lots of sell side pretty quickly. And there's a daily inversion. There's a daily bearish inversion for value gap above the market. And I think I'd like to try to shoot for that. Plus, there's a lot of buy side on the way. Bullish SMT on ES right now as well, which is interesting. Yeah, real interesting. Just about 10 o'clock. Right now, I just need to figure out, is it going to take this low? Or is that the low of day? And what is risk? Risk is pretty high. See how fast that went? The volatility right now is pretty high. So risk is pretty high. So I need to be pretty confident in any sort of entry. I'm going to keep this order here just so it's prepped in case I see something that I really like. I can act on it quickly. Let's see. So if it's bearish, we're trading below a 15-minute breaker. So I have that annotated on my other chart. Look at that. We're staying inside this. See that? The bodies are currently closing below the midpoint, but we're reaching and then coming back up into it. That body just closed above the midpoint. Real interesting. Just about 10 o'clock. You could see these wicks getting taken here. This is looking bullish to me, I think. I'm already bullish with my bias, and we just had this big, really nice Judas off the open. It's looking really tempting. Oh. Kind of want to see these wicks taken out at 10 o'clock. There are those wicks. Okay. We're going to see about going long down here with a stop at low of day. So I'm also looking at the 5-minute chart. I'll go ahead and pull that up. This big wick on the 5-minute is what I'm basing the trade off of right now. Want it to stay above the consequence encroachment there, which is overlapping the upper quadrant of the daily wick. And I was aiming to try to get in inside that wick. And I'd like to see a pretty explosive move higher here soon, up above these highs. And then I want to see a body close above the high of this inversion to basically confirm it as inversion and then use it to go higher. Dang, ES has already made a significant move higher. I hope NQ doesn't take low of day. Looking at that 5-minute wick, I really want to see that wick hold up. And that this is smart money accumulation and they're manipulating these lows right here. Right near that daily consequence encroachment as well. Could have been a little more precise. I could have had a limit order at the midpoint of that daily fair value gap. That might have been a little better. I want to see a return up to this inversion. We're kind of accumulating below it, which is fine. I want us to stay above this midpoint here of the daily fair value gap. But I think a return back to this would be really good because it's already worked it. And if it's coming back to it again, it probably shouldn't be doing that if it's going to be bearish. If we're able to get a body closing above this inversion and take out these highs, I'll go to break even because I'm just going to demand that it start running very quickly higher at that point. I like the return to that inefficiency because if it's bearish, it's already worked it. It shouldn't really be coming back to it again. Now I want to see it trade in the upper half. Like to see a really strong close here. See, I don't really want to see that. Needs to keep pressing higher. If any of these highs in here get tipped, I'll go to break even. But I want to give it a chance to kind of wiggle around in here as well, because I think this is smart money accumulation. So now that we have a swing high here, if this one gets taken, I'll go to break even. I want to see a quick snap back up into the range. Buy side up here. I want this to be a manipulation of sell side, and then snap back up to the buy side. You have a little body closing above the midpoint there, the daily for value gap. Here very soon, I want to see a move back up into the range. Don't want it to hang out at these lows for too much longer because we're taking sell side liquidity. So now it needs to run for the buy side. Needs to hold that purple line. Needs to hold that because that's also the consequence encroachment of the 5-minute wick. Five-minute closes in 15 seconds. I really want to see move higher very soon. Very, very soon. Okay, we held that 5-minute wicks midpoint. Uh, Trying to be patient. I really wanted to see it move higher faster than it than it's taking. Getting a little uncomfortable how long it's trading down here at these levels. Unfortunately, if this 1 minute closes low like that, I might be wrong. Unfortunately. Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm probably getting stopped. Probably. Okay, so that's the stop out. That was $130 loss, so risk is high. Risk is high. It's unfortunate. Um, unfortunate. It was looking really good there for a while. It was looking really good holding this midpoint. This was a warning. That wick back down out of this was a warning, I think. I said I wanted a strong close here. I need to get better at if something doesn't do what I want it to do right away, I just cut the trade. I'm watching this. This is a really key level here. And we took low of day now, and there's buy side up here. That's real interesting, isn't it? I'm gonna try to get in on this inversion for value gap. The high. I almost got in down here. I almost did it. Maybe a lack of confidence, but it's okay. I'm gonna try to get the high of it. And it failed to reach that, which is bullish. So I was considering getting in below this, somewhere in here, but I was trying to give it the opportunity to actually go down and reach that. But if it fails to reach it, that's also bullish. Oh, yes, just snapped up too. Yeah, I think we're going to go higher here. Hopefully it offers me my fill. This is also anchored to that upper quadrant. Really hope it offers me my fill because I'm feeling confident in higher prices. Come on. Got so close to it there. All right, that's the fill. Real quick snap off that. I don't want it to spend too much time in this inversion, and preferably this is a breakaway gap. I don't really want to see that fully filled in. I want it to snap away really quickly. Damn, that's not what I want to see. It's really not. There's this order block here. Okay. If it leaves it really quickly, that's okay. That makes it okay. Because we are staying inside of it still and reach for the order block. So that's really good. The fact that we just left it that quickly. That's looking really good. So that loss earlier was a $133 loss. So that's my goal for this trade is to try to mitigate that plus extra. Um, there's potentially a very good risk reward on this trade, a lot of upside potential. So we'll see. Hmm. I really, wow, I obviously don't like that at all. Came back down into it like that. Closed outside of it. I really want to collapse it here. That's not what I want to see at all. It's just not what I want to see. This order block is kind of the last line of defense here. It's like I like that it snapped back in like that, but the fact that it's down here in the first place just isn't good. It's just not what it needs to be doing right now, if my timing is correct. This candle needs to just rip through here, honestly. I like all the equal highs right here. I really need to see it rip through this, because right now this is a reclaimed bearish for value gap. It's respected the midpoint there. It really needs to get back up through it and hold this order block. Being sensitive in the upper half, I don't like that. When these highs get taken here, it needs to run up to these highs. I don't want to see these highs tipped and then it come back down into the range. I don't want to see anything like that. New 5-minute candle just opened. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Unfortunate. Days like this are really challenging whenever you're correct on the initial move, but you don't capitalize. And then now I'm trying to switch to my long bias, but my timing is off. And I'm worried that it'll go really quickly without me. That's what I'm kind of worried about. I'm worried about a fast reversal. Um, so that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. It needs to overcome this inefficiency we're trading into. Just get back up above it. Really, it needs to do it on this candle and then continuation on the next candle. Yeah, ugh. This is tough. It's hard to know what to do. So it starts to look good, it starts to look positive, and then it immediately snaps back down. It's a fine balance of being patient and then being disciplined to cut something when it's not working. And I'm just not too sure. I like the price I'm trying to get in long. It's below the midpoint of the inversion for value gap on the daily, which means it's in a discount. Took low of day. I like that. So this candle, like, we need to see follow through and continuation up to these highs. That's what we really need to see right now. Held the order block. That's good. Back up above the inversion. That's good. Nice strong close. I'd like to see a breakaway gap and just I want to see buy side engaged. All right, there's that buy side. Want to see continuation. Just about 10:30. Interesting time. There you go. Come on. Now we need to get up above that. Annotate this Wix midpoint. Right over top. Consequence encroachment of the daily. Want to see a body close up above that. Um, Interesting time to maybe consider break even. I'd like this to be a breakaway gap. Equal highs here. All right, I'm going to demand that it continue going for me here. It's tempting to take profit and mitigate that loss from before, but there's a lot of upside potential right now. I'm really trying to be disciplined. It's really hard sometimes to know exactly what to do. Buy side on ES. If it's going to be bullish, it should not come back down to my entry. If it's actually going to remain bullish and continue offering higher prices. So the stop loss should be safe if I'm correct in a move higher. I want to figure out where $133 profit is, because that was my loss from before. Because that's a nice goal to get the stop loss to. 24, 23. All right. 97 and a half is 120. So I'll annotate that. 97 and a half. Okay. That's a nice goal for to get the stop loss up to that at some point. All right, so we're coming into the breaker. I'm going to go ahead and just copy paste it over here. Okay, that's the breaker. We need to overcome that if it's going to be bullish. I'm going to go ahead and gray it out so that the chart's a little cleaner. But that is a very important level to overcome. It's tempting to get out and fix that loss from earlier. It's really tempting because it's not necessarily time to go take high of day. But I'm trying to be disciplined. I really am. Okay. Stayed above the midpoint. Because, like, we could leave equal highs here. Because this is a breaker. Like, this is a key level. Key level here. I'm going to take what it's given me. I'm just going to take that out. Because I'm feeling uncomfortable. And that fixes the loss from earlier, plus extra. And I'm up on the week. So it feels good to, you know, not lose that profit. I mean, I'm up over $300 on the week. That was a $133 loss earlier, and now with that profit I just made, um, that was a $139 profit. So I'm up $5, which is nothing, but we're at a key level that could reverse price, and this was a handsome move higher, and it gets rid of my loss. So getting out here, I think, makes a lot of sense. It's just logical. Instead of demanding that this be low of day and that it doesn't come touch me break even and that it just goes up and runs high of day, that's a lot to demand, especially whenever we're trading into a breaker, a higher time frame breaker. And I could foresee these equal highs here being 10 o'clock liquidity for the lunch macro to run. And I feel just a little stress. I don't want to say emotional, but just like I feel pressure. Um, I feel pressure because I missed out on this move down, which I called, which is fine. Using the word missed out is maybe not the best thing to use. Maybe not the best phrase to use. And then my timing here was wrong. So that's kind of two mistakes. And then this was a decent entry. I took a little bit of heat on it because it went to the order block. And I just think, like, I am really bullish on the market right now in this moment in time. But with the loss that I took earlier, with the stress that I'm kind of feeling and the pressure to perform, basically, um, and with the high volatility, it just makes me feel a lot more comfortable just taking that profit, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm rambling, but I just feel it makes a lot of sense. Um, let's see here. And ES has taken this high already. So ES seems more bullish than NQ. There's equal lows down here. We're in a breaker. Like it could reach for a lower discount. It really could. So Yeah. Um, this is looking great. What it's doing here in this moment, it's looking really good. Um, this is technically a breaker, swing high, took liquidity. Now we're trading above it. So this is a breaker here. It's respecting that, and we're printing higher prices. I mean, all of this looks great. If I was still in it, I would tighten that stop up to this 120 level and just demand that it use this as inversion and it just keep grinding and grinding and grinding. Um, yeah, it could be, I don't know. It's just like, it's such a tough position to be in because I feel really confident in higher prices. There's a lot of upside potential, a lot of upside potential. Um, but because of this initial loss, right here, it just didn't feel guaranteed that it wouldn't leave this high and then like stop me break even, and then I would still be stressed about that loss earlier, and later in the day I'll be thinking about how I need to like make that money back, and I don't know. I think it just makes sense to mitigate that loss. It's a little unfortunate that it is running higher. Because this is a really nice place to go to break even at this point, but I don't know, it's fine. It's fine. I just have a lot of conflicting emotions right now. Yeah, I maybe should have. This loss is annoying too, because I feel like had this been break even and then this was my entry, I would feel a lot more comfortable just staying at break even down here and letting this run because I don't have a loss to worry about, you know? Um, and I said I want to see a strong close here on this candle, and then that didn't happen. That's a great time to go to break even because we took liquidity on a higher time frame, but then within the fractal of this lower time frame, there's been no manipulation yet. So a manipulation below low of day makes a lot of sense. And this is a bull flag. So I initially got in here, right around in here, but it kind of turned into a bull flag and then failed. And it failed after I told it to do something and it didn't do it. So look at this amazing move higher. That's beautiful. This is honestly looking great. But so this should have been break even, I think. I think that's the real mistake. Just it doing something that I didn't want it to do and then not going to break even. It was really challenging in here because the whole time I'm thinking like over here, I should have gone to break even because it didn't do something I wanted it to do. And then right here, it disrespected this inversion for value gap, but it was respecting the order block. And I based my stop loss below the order block and below the consequence encroachment of this daily wick here because it failed to reach it. So that's what I based my stop loss off of, and those things were still being respected. So the entry mechanism was being disrespected, but the stop loss logic was being respected. So it was just kind of contradicting viewpoints in my mind. And whenever it was respecting the midpoint here, I was just telling myself over and over, like, I should just get out for a small loss because of what happened over here. Um, but I just had to trust that this was manipulation of low of day, smart money accumulation. And then once it started doing what I demanded, uh, I said on this candle or the next candle, it needs to like really get going. This candle closed above it. Breakaway gap. I said I want to see this be a breakaway gap. Next candle ran higher, ran liquidity. And then whenever this candle was trading up here, I think that was at the moment I decided, okay, this certainly needs to be a breakaway gap. And then I went to break even. And so, like, at that point, it was doing what I wanted. And I don't know, everything just happened as it should. But I don't know. I'm just like brain dumping basically. But this breaker failing to hold price down is great. That's great to see. Um, hmm. There is that 2 o'clock news, high impact news. I guess this would be a good time since I'm brain dumping. Um, Break even on the morning session. It was challenging. Uh, this was challenging. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. This move down was so fantastic. I'm really kind of annoyed I didn't capture it because I called it before it happened. But chart looks so busy. Need to clean it. Um, I guess that's good. Okay. So I'm going to read off my notes that I took this morning. Um, I meant to do that earlier, but I didn't have time. Now I'm going to put this sell side back on the chart because that's relevant to my notes. Okay. Wednesday bias. I'm just going to read it word for word. I want to lean bullish for a move up into daily inversion for value gap. Best case being 29,916 and a half. That level is right here where my horizontal line is resting. That's my best case scenario for longs because it's the midpoint of a daily inversion for value gap and it's above liquidity. It could go higher. That's just best case for me. Um, However, okay, next paragraph. However, there is sell side below the market at 29,504 and a quarter. 29,504 and a quarter. The sell side here. And then I said, not sure how market will behave leading up to FOMC minutes and Trump's speech at 2 and 2:30. So, got that sell side. And I just needed to wait for internal manipulation, I think. If I would have just waited for that low to get taken, this is looking really good to like just go take high of day in my mind. Um, yeah, I'm just frustrated. It's very, very frustrating being correct about something and just not executing properly. But I think risk mitigation is important and uh, something else this does, getting out early here and mitigating that loss, is it protects my mental capital, just my mental stress. Because the less mental stress I have, the better I can trade. And if I have a lot of mental stress because of a loss or whatever, I think it's an investment in my mental health. Just going ahead and taking what it gave me here, not demanding, you know, all the way up here. and just mitigating the loss. So, kind of a stressful morning. I'm going to take a break. Um, and I will certainly come back maybe for the afternoon session. I certainly want to watch the high impact at 2, the FOMC minutes. I just want to see what that does. The Trump speech at 2:30 might mess up any clean price action that we may have gotten off that, but this is looking really good, just really clean, really bullish. It's a little unfortunate, but there's nothing I can really do about it at this point. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a break. I feel like I need to take a break. It was just kind of a stressful morning, really fast-paced morning too. Lots of volatility, really quick run down here, and then trying to capture this. I just kind of fumbled it a little bit. And now that we're here, I don't think there's anything to really worry about in the moment. So yeah, I'll probably be back later.